Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are well and ready for another delicious recipe. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my recipe or my family's recipe for these Bunjal chunks. For any of you guys who don't know what chunks are, it is basically a soy product also known as Nutella chunks. Now this is something that you can make with dal and rice and eat it just like that. It'll make for a very comforting and filling meal. And also, if you wanted to, you could serve it among any other types of vegetarian or non-vegetarian dishes. So I hope you guys enjoy this recipe today and get in your kitchens and try it out for yourselves. About an hour or two before you want to put this dish together, you want to soak your chunks. So you want to put the chunks into a bowl, cover it with water, and allow them to reconstitute or soak up some of that water. And at this point, we can go ahead and make the spice mixture. So we have some curry powder and masala in a little bowl here that we're just mixing up until they're well combined. We'll add some water to that to make a paste. We also have some onions that we've sliced, as well as some scallions and some garlic and hot pepper crushed. At this point, I have a heavy bottom skillet heating up on a medium-high heat, and I'm going in with some vegetable oil. For Bunjal chunks, you really need a good amount of oil, so this way they can get a good sear all over the edges, and so this way the masala can really soak into the chunks. So at this point, once the oil is hot, I'm going to go in with the onions and the chopped scallions, and I'm just going to saute those until they are well combined with the oil and until they soften up just a little bit. That'll take about 2 to 3 minutes. After about 2 to 3 minutes, you're going to see that your onions and scallions have softened up really well, and they might even start to get a little golden brown. At this point, you're going to go in with your ground garlic and ground hot pepper, and you're also going to go in with the curry and masala mixture that we mix with a little bit of water to make a paste. Now, as usual, all of my ingredients and proper measurements will be down in the description box below, so you can be sure to check that out when you put this recipe together. Now, all we're going to do is stir up all of these ingredients, and we're going to cook it down until all of the oil starts to release back from the masala mixture, and until the masala is nice and grainy and dry, and it's cooked throughout really well. And at this point, you're going to see that we add in a little bit of extra oil. As I said before, when you're making chunks, you need a good amount of oil to really have those chunks fry up well. After about 4 to 6 minutes, you're going to see that this mixture starts to get very dry, very grainy, and all of the oil has begun to separate. So at this point, it is time to go in with all of our soaked chunks. Now, a very important thing that you have to keep in mind. After you're done soaking the chunks, before you put them into the pan, you need to squeeze them out really well. You have to squeeze them very hard until all of the water that was absorbed into them comes out. The reason being is because if you do not and you put it straight in without water, they'll never absorb all of those spices and it'll taste very watery, it'll be very chewy, and it will not be a great mouthfeel or flavor. Now I have a little word of advice for you guys. You're going to be squeezing the chunks into the pot, and as you get towards the bottom of the bowl, you're going to notice these little fine crumbs or granules from the chunks. That's basically just little pieces of the chunks that come from the bag. My auntie Chitra says not to add those in, and the reason being is because if you do, the entire dish can tend to get a very sandy or a grainy texture, and that's not really what you want. It's not going to make for a great mouthfeel. So if you can omit those and try not to get them in, try to do that. And once you mix up the chunks really well with all of the spices and the masala, you can go ahead and add in some salt to taste. And as I said before, if you notice that the pot is looking a little too dry, then you can go ahead and add in a little bit more oil, so this way it can fry up really well. So after we added the chunks into the pan with all of the spices, we allowed them to fry up or bunjay really well with the spices, so maybe about 5 to 7 minutes until you see that the spices seared onto the chunks. At that moment, you can add in a little bit of water to cover the chunks halfway. The reason why we do this is so this way it can loosen up that masala mixture just a little bit, and it'll start to create a really nice thick sauce to coat the chunks. After we added in the water, the chunks have been cooking for about 3 minutes on a medium heat, and as you guys can see, it's bubbling up really well, and the sauce is getting nice and thick. We actually wanted to thicken up just a little bit more because we like our sauce to be very thick all over the chunks and for it basically to be clinging to the chunks. After about another 5 to 7 minutes, we are going in and finishing this dish with some roasted ground jeera or cumin. The reason why we finish it off is because we find it adds a really nice depth of flavor to the chunks, and it also makes it just a little bit darker. So as you guys can see, once we mix it in, the color does change a little bit. But that's pretty much it. That's how fast and how quick it is to put together chunks. So I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe today. I just want to thank each and every one of you for watching this video. If you want to see how my aunts and I made these chunks alongside all of these other vegetarian dishes, check out my 7 curry video I recently posted. But until next time, I'll see you guys again very soon. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed yet. Come join the Matthew's Guyanese cooking family and keep dropping those comments down below and let me know what you'd like to see next.